This week on One Crazy Story, my friend Pat joins me to talk about a lesson they don't teach you in college about owning your own business.
The first order he put in 1,500. The second order he put in 3,000, and then in the third order he goes, Patrick, I need 5,000 more units. So I'm like, holy shit! Oh my god!
Which is just from exhaustion and just confusion. We're like, all right, sounds good, Joes.
No, this was 2011. This was late 2011. Say like end of summer. So I am a chips and salsa and guacamole manufacturer company. Me and my business partner started out of college, and I just dropped off one of the workers at a farm market that they were working that day. Basically, where you stand in a parking lot and try and sell as much stuff so I can eat as possible.
Yeah, this is summertime too. So there was you had about 8 employees, right?
Yeah, it was about 7 or 8 of us total.
Yeah, and I was there too. Like this is when I worked for Pat. We would basically travel around all Southeast Michigan and sell chips and salsa to people. Yep. Aunt Knees salsa.
Aunt Knees.
This essentially is about the biggest order in the history of Aunt Knees' existence.
So I drop off this work at the farmer's market. I go home and I check my mail, and then there's this email from a guy named Jose. And I'm like, all right.
Jose?
Yes, I think his name was Jose. It's like Jos. He was very foreign. And I'm thinking, like,
who is this guy?
And I'm like, who is this guy?
And this is just completely out of the blue.
This is just a random email out of the blue, and it's on my personal email address, which is rare because I don't give that out.
Right.
And he goes, "Hello, my name is Jose. I am a food broker, and I wanted to purchase some of your product. Can you please contact me?" I'm like, all right. So I sent him an email. I'm like, "Hey, Jose, here's a pricing sheet attached. You know how
exactly.
How can I help you?"
How it'll all go down.
He's heard of us, so somehow he got my personal email.
Yeah.
And so within about 20 seconds, this guy called me. And
that's so fast.
It was so fast. And on top of that,
you hit send and then your phone's blowing up.
Yeah, I hit send and I'm like, I get up from my desk to like take a leak or something, and then my phone rings. Like, what? Who the hell's calling me? And this number is just out of the. It's like 00. It's like 30 digits long.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I pick it up and he goes, "Hello, Patrick. This is Jose." I'm like,
Jose?
How the fuck did this guy get my number? I don't have my cell number in my signature.
Yeah, you didn't give it to him.
I didn't tell him to call me, and he didn't call the business line. He called my personal cell.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I'm thinking like,
Jose sounds like a creep.
All right, Jose, how did you? First, how did you get my personal number?
Right.
I ask him. He goes, "Oh, I got it from another broker contact that I work with here." I'm like, all right, so
yeah, that's legit.
I'm just thinking, all right, this is just weird. I'm just gonna go through with this. And so, anyways, he goes, I wanted to put in an order, and I go, okay, Jose, what do you want? He said.
So this guy wants to place an order, and
he first asked me, he goes, what? Because our packs sell for our little seasoning packs sell for $2. Okay, and then he goes, do you have any bigger portions?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. Well, he said he was a food broker, so this makes sense. I'm like, yeah, we have what we call our number 10 bag, which you mix with like 7 pounds of tomatoes. We sell maybe 5 a year, is what we sell.
For like a wedding or something.
Yeah, it's like if you're serving like a village is what you need. What you need these for. And he goes, I go, yeah, we have. He goes, how much are those? I'm like, they're right now they're $9 a pop.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. And he goes, give me 1,500. What? And I'm thinking. I go, Jose, let me write that down. And,
wait a second.
Well, first off, I think I said absolutely no problem.
Yeah, right. You don't turn down a sale that big.
No, it's just like, sure.
Who needs 1,500 packets?
I did the math, like 1,500. Each one serves 25 people. That's tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
If I'm correct on that.
Yeah, it was a lot of people though. Like nobody needs that much salsa, right?
To me, I'm like, all right, Jose, I'll get you an invoice, man. We'll get this out to you. Let me send you an email. And he goes, okay, thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. And I'm just like, all right, this is too bizarre. So I think the first thing I did is I called Nate, and I'm like, Nate, we need to. I called Nate before I even validated this guy. So I told him, all right,
because this was huge, man. This is a big order.
This is big shit,
and he needs it soon. We need to get to work on this right away.
It was 1,500 units at $9 a pop. It was like what, 10 or 12 grand? This would solve like all my money problems right now.
This will save the car. I mean, it's good. It's good money, right? It's a big order, and you're in your whole. I mean, it's food, so you hope they're gonna need more, right? So this could be a regular thing.
Yeah. This could be. And he was so friendly. Maybe he'll buy more. So I sent him the invoice, and then I went and I did some research. I'm like, all right. He checks out. He said, we did some emails back and forth. He works for the Hilton down in Egypt.
Down in Egypt, and right over there.
We would be shipping this product to Cairo, Egypt. And I'm like, all right.
Which, first of all, we all know a staple in the Egyptian diet is Mexican salsa.
So I'm like, all right, I got to figure out how this guy heard from me because this is just too bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I called up a couple of our food brokers, and they said, one guy said, I sent a package down there to a buddy of mine. He's in the area, so yeah, that would make sense.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so then we go to the post where we manufacture. Yeah. We'd manufactured a VFW post back then. And the commander, Johnny's like, you know what? There's a military base down there, and I sent them product. I send it every 6 months to those.
So you're like, maybe we're feeding
a bunch of feeding a military base.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense. It all makes sense.
We are 2 for 2 here as to why Jost would call me on my personal number. And
cell phone number, just a small startup in Southeast Michigan. Yeah. And some guy from Egypt is just like, I need a shit ton of your salsa, man.
1,500 units.
So it all makes sense.
So it all makes sense in my mind. So at this point, I have the full staff making 1,500 units of this stuff. I don't even remember how many hundreds of dollars. And I remember I emailed Joseph. I'm like, Joseph, this is going to be a big order. Can you pay in advance? He goes, absolutely, I will pay in advance. I'm thinking, like, great, Joseph's a great customer.
Yeah, man, a good guy.
I asked him, I go, how do you want this shipped? And he goes, how do you want this shipped? And he goes, you can send it with this freight company. He goes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay you extra to contact my freight company. I'm thinking, okay. All right, that's standard.
Yeah, it's the least I could do.
That's standard in the industry to when a buyer picks their freight company, they pay you in advance, and then you cover the shipping. So that's normal. So I'm like, all right, so that's day one.
Right. All this happened in one day.
This is all one day, and so this was a Friday. So we start making the order on the weekend, and then Sunday night, Jost calls me. He calls me again, son of a bitch, and he goes, Patrick, and he's always very urgent. It's like wherever he is, it's on fire, and he needs to like get a hold of me and get this order out, or he's gonna die. Like everyone there is just gonna burn and die. Patrick, he says, Patrick, hello, this is Jost. I'm like, my
yes,
God,
Jost.
Man,
I know you're the only one that calls me.
Like, how much kind of amphetamine did you have for breakfast? And because he'd call me at like absurd hours. He'd call me at like 1 in the morning.
Do you know what the time difference is there in Cairo?
I called him out on it once. I go, Jost, I'm sleeping. So he called me at like 2 in the morning one time. And he goes, Patrick, I am very sorry. I just really have to get this salsa out to my customer. I'm like,
it's 2 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
And this is what's happening.
So anyway, so he calls me again, and I'm like, I go, all right, Jost, we're working on your order, man. I already contacted your freight company, which at this point somehow checked out. And they were in China.
Yeah.
Go figure. So he goes, Patrick. And he goes, how is the order coming? It's coming along, Jost. Everything's going okay.
Yep.
And he goes, okay, I need more. I'm like,
we're not even done making this first order yet.
Like none of the team has slept in 2 days because
we're just on coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like chain smoking, and I'm trying to stay awake, and I would go back in, and we'd start making everything, and then he called you like twice. I remember because you would leave because we couldn't get service inside the building, so you'd go outside, and you go, guys, get some coffee. We need like 1,800 more of these unnecessarily large packets of salsa to send to Egypt.
Yeah, so I go, he goes, I need more, and I'm thinking. Yeah. All right, Jost, how much more do you need? And I'm thinking, oh God, like we're never gonna get this done. Like I am basically just whipping the staff to have them work all-nighters.
Yeah.
Get just feeding them monsters in 5 hours. I bought cases of each from Sam's Club. and I would just feed him. It's like, here, take it. At this point, we're all gonna freaking retire on Jose. So
Jose is just he's gonna buy the company.
Jose is gonna freaking buy everything we have.
Yes.
And so we, you said 1,800, but I remember he doubled it.
Yeah.
He goes, what did I get last time? Like, you don't even know what you ordered last. Again, radar should pop up. But the guy already paid. I had 10 G's in the account. Like, I mean, why the heck would I, or 12, whatever it was.
Why would you question that? He paid for it.
Just it doesn't make any sense. I mean, his credit card is fine.
It all checks out, man.
It all checks out in my skewed perspective.
Right. Well, I mean, come on. Like, I this would have happened to anybody. I think I would have done the exact same thing. I would have handled this exactly the way you handled it, to be honest with you.
So he goes, all right, I want to, whatever you gave me last time, double it. And I'm like, holy shit, I did the math. I'm like, we need more people. I need more staff. I'm like, and he goes, and I will pay now. I'm like, of course you'll pay now, Jose. At this point, I could have bought a fucking house with what the guy gave me on credit cards. And I'm just thinking, all right, sweet, this is great. I'm sending freaking pictures of the bank account statement to my business partners. They're like skipping for joy.
Yeah.
So Jose, anyways, we finished Jose's order, or we don't finish it. Sunday night, Monday starts. I'm like, all right, we got to keep going. Calls me again on Tuesday, and this whole time I'm thinking like, this is something's a little weird, but the money's coming in, so what do I have to
it all
worry
checks
about?
out.
And he's friendly. Again, he got my contact info that's only on my business card, so he's got it from somebody that I know.
Plus, I mean, at this point, somebody paid you. Now you owe them the product. So now you're just trying to be professional. You're trying to not be the dick of this situation.
Exactly. So I think Jose again tried to call me at like 2 or 3 in the morning, a couple times in between.
Luckily, we were awake because we were working.
Yeah, luckily, I didn't. I basically slept at the facility that week.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I remember this.
So
very vividly.
So on Tuesday, I get another call from Jose, and I'm thinking, this maybe it was Wednesday. I can't remember. It was a while ago. And that's when you were there. You were there, Nate. And
and I was seeing stuff because it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, just like we're just fucking hallucinating, putting shit into bags, trying to get us for this goofy Egypt bastard.
I was never happier to make an hourly wage. I was like, this is good, man. Keep it coming, Jose. I am cashing in as well.
So he calls again on Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. I can't remember. And he goes, hello, Patrick. How are you? I'm like, Jose, I haven't slept in like 5 fucking days. I'm pissed. But I'm happy that you're paying. What do you want? What the hell do you want now? Because you won't stop calling me. He goes, Patrick, I have good news. I'm like,
what's the fuck? What's your great news,
What is
Jose?
your great goddamn news, Jose? And he goes, I have talked to my accounts and I have sold more product. How much more did you sell, Jose? What did I ask for? And like, he doesn't remember what the fuck he asked for.
But now you're like, you haven't slept in days.
At this point,
it's
I'm
3 a.m. You're like,
I'm floating. Like I'm in the facility and I can't feel my legs. Like I'm whacked on caffeine and fucking Adderall, and it's just like I'm just trying to get this order done. And he goes, so the first order he put in 1,500. The second order he put in 3,000, and then in the third order he goes, Patrick, I need 5,000 more units. So I'm like, holy shit! Oh my god!
which is unreal.
That's. I mean, at this point.
But I remember because I was sitting right next to you, and you just you had, I'll never get it. You're just sitting there, and you're like, and you kind of looked at your phone, and you just dropped it. You just dropped your phone, and it hits the table, and I'm like, what does that mean? And you're like, he wants 5,000 on top of what we're... And then at this point, I think just from exhaustion and just confusion, we're like, all right, sounds good, Jose.
I remember, like, I like it was
like he had sold this stuff. It's not even out of the country yet.
It's not even out of our building. Like
we're not even done. Yeah, we're not even done yet. We got 8 guys. He doesn't even know what's happening. I mean, we're just scooping. We're just like, this is such a manual, like precise labor.
You know what I learned later is all that work we did. I could have made one phone call. This is I didn't know. It was a startup. One company could have done this in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours, Nate. And we spent God knows how many days. So anyways, and of course, Jose wants 5,000 units, and he paid me right on the spot.
Right, he paid me right there.
Check on the account. There it is. I'm like, all right, Jose is an ace in my book. Let's get this order out to him. So I forget what bell went off in my head, and think I was sitting somewhere having a beer, and it was somebody that I hadn't seen in a long time or I'd never met before. I can't remember which, and I was telling him because they asked because they knew I ran my company, and well, how's everything? And I'm like, well, we've began exporting to Egypt, and it's going pretty well.
We've gone global.
And you just see their eyes cock, and they're like, what? And actually, you know what? This was a table of people, and it was like a handful of people, and I think it was like 5 people, and 4 of them like, wow, Pat, that's great. Like that, I mean, you are killing it. Like the American dream. This is just American dream.
Small
shipping
startup,
to fucking Egypt.
Yeah, small startup company. You're making a ton of money.
I'm ready to call like a news anchor.
This was gonna change everything, man. I mean, financially, it really was. I mean, you went from. I mean, you more than tripled your profits in like 2 weeks. Yeah, a week.
Yeah, there should have gone off there. And I remember there was a table of like 5 people.
Yeah.
And 4 people. Yeah, it's great. And then the 5th guy, he's just kind of looking at me. And I notice as I'm going on about how all this played out, you know, telling the phone calls and the triple, double, triple, quadruple orders.
Yeah.
The 2, 3 a.m. voicemails from jokes. And he just looks at me and I'm noticing how absolutely fucking ridiculous this story is.
Yeah.
And that literally this can't be right. And it was all this one dude. He didn't even say a word to me. He just looked at me like, this is the dumbest fucking kid in the world. That's what I felt he was saying in his mind when he looked at me. And so I went home that night and I'm like, man, that really bothered me. That son of a bitch didn't believe my story. So I had written down a couple of the credit cards, and so I called up Visa, and this was funny. So when you call, it was bizarre. I am basically being a good Samaritan, and I got Visa on the line, and I said, hey, listen, I have this credit card number. I think it's stolen. Can you check? And he goes, well, why do you think it's stolen? I'm like, and then I'm just like, I do not want to tell this whole story to Visa right now.
Right.
And then anyways, after about like a few minutes of explaining to the guy, he basically thought that I had stolen several credit cards. And then he goes, I need to put you through to my supervisor because I feel you are a fraudulent individual. I'm just like, whatever,
you're being
man.
a nice guy.
Well, I'm like, that's what I said in my mind. I had already said, like, listen, I'm trying to be a nice guy here. And he goes, no, I need to put you through to top tier, like, securities management. I'm like, whatever, bro. Just put me through to someone that doesn't sound like they're whacked on fucking coffee.
Yeah, put me through to someone that doesn't sound like they've been making salsa for 3 days, 72 hours straight.
You've seen some shit in this 5-minute phone call. Why don't you show up in Westland and I'll show you what the hell's been happening with Jose the whack-ass Egyptian ordering fucking 2 semis of goddamn salsa mix. And so he
sounds unreal.
So his supervisor gets on the line, and this guy's like, it's like I'm taught, like, if you imagine, like, if a cop ever comes to arrest you and you just think it's like this freaking like centaur looking goofy bastard, that was him. Like, that's how this person's like, hello, this is whatever the hell is it. And then he starts asking me all these questions, and then he wouldn't really let me talk, and I was like, listen, dude, would you just shut up? And he goes, he just paused. He goes, excuse me, I just need you to shut the hell up. And he goes, sir? And I go, listen, man, I'm pretty sure this giant list of credit cards that I have are stolen. I'm calling because your customers are getting fucked.
Yeah.
And I don't know what peon I talked to last time, but he thinks I'm a freaking terrorist or some shit. So you need to look up these numbers, or I'm just going to hang up, and you guys are going to be out $1,000. You have no way to make these claims. Yeah. And then he goes, okay, what? He stuttered. Giant Sasquatch man stuttered. He's like, what are the numbers? So I had like 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them. And I ran him through. He goes, I read it off, and I finished the first one. Yeah, that's stolen. Second one. That one's stolen too. Third one. Yeah, that one was stolen about 6 months ago. 4th one, 5th one. Yes, sir, these are all stolen credit cards. And I'm just thinking, oh, shit. Oh, no. Yeah. I'm not even going to tell him that at this point that I already have the money. I'm not telling him.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't say it. You just go, okay.
And I was just like, okay. And he goes, and that was it. And they just hung up.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, holy shit, well, how do I do this? I go back to the post and I'm looking at just this giant room of product that we made that basically is going to sink me.
Yeah, you've already invested all the money in this product to make for this guy. And so now we're sitting on like 1,800 packet, like large.
Like,
I don't know. It was a ton.
It was 8,000 to 10,000 units is what we had
of salsa that now nobody is gonna nobody. It hasn't sold yet.
We've sold half a dozen of those units a year.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
So at this rate, we got 8,000.
Yeah.
And we got 6. So that should take us about 1,500 years to sell. Okay. I'll just pass this along the lineage of my family. So
things are good.
I think the first person I called was my attorney,
right?
My best friend, and he goes, man, I didn't want to burst your bubble, but I was very confident that this was fraud. I'm like, well, thanks for saying something, you dipshit, because now I have thousands of dollars that I don't even have anymore because I invested it in shit that no one's gonna buy.
Yeah.
My great grandkids are gonna have to hawk on the goddamn street to make peanut butter sandwiches because they're gonna be poor forever. And so he's like, all right, dude, this isn't fine. So it gets to the point. I call everyone. It's like, all right, guys, don't worry about it. And I remember
Nate, you got the night off.
Oh yeah, I still have to pay the entire staff that did the work. So I forget what day this is. Probably it's been a week at this point, and so I get a call from Jose Friday morning.
Yeah, you haven't heard from him in how many days?
I haven't heard from him in like 2 or 3 days, and he had emailed me a couple times. I'm just ignoring him because I know the jig's up, and I don't know what the hell to say at this point.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to just cuss him out. The other part of me is like, well, maybe we just fuck with him a little bit more and tell him, like, I lost all the credit cards, all the money's gone, and, not to steal more money. Obviously, right. I just do it to fuck with him and just see how long I can string the guy along for.
Yeah.
And
you call him at 2 a.m. Egyptian time. Jos, I have terrible news. All the credit cards you're trying to purchase this product with are stolen.
I wonder what he would say to that.
What?
Oh, man. So a big part of this shit was I had to use Western Union to send him to send. So this is how these scams work. What he was doing is he would pay me $5,000
with stolen credit cards.
Somebody else's $5,000. I would receive in my bank account immediately.
Yeah,
and then I would, of that $5,000, $1,000 was to. This is like elementary math. It wasn't like these exact numbers. $1,000 of that was for freight. So I would have to send $1,000 to their freight company through Western Union. God, sounds fucking retarded. In the United Kingdom. So. Yeah, and with Western Union, if you ever send anything Western Union, there's always a secret passcode when you spend money.
Right.
And a secret question. And the secret question on this, again, radar doesn't pop up in my head because I'm seeing tens of thousands of dollars in my
Exactly.
account. What is the secret question, Nate? What color is the sky? Is the secret question. What's the answer, Nate?
Blue?
Congratulations. You just won $1,000 fucking dollars. Hope you live in the United Kingdom. It's on its way.
But you have to receive it through Western Union.
Yes, of course. That's the only way they take this because that's just how fraudulent bastards operate. They're fucked up businesses.
Yes.
And so I would go to Western Union and I got to know these people quite well because I was sending mass sums of money in a 6-day period to what looks like a second grader fucking trying to make lots of money. And
which probably puts you on a list somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I was definitely on a list because the Kroger that I was going to was not letting me send any more money.
The Kroger.
The general
Kroger.
manager came out and he goes,
yeah, man. I don't know if this is legit.
We can't send any more of your money, sir.
When Kroger noticed, that's when I noticed.
When you got a guy that barely made it past junior high, and he's telling you that you're making a mistake, it kind of puts some shit in perspective.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm on cloud 9. I'm putting premium in my gas tank when I'm driving to Kroger.
I'll go to the Kroger down the road.
That's exactly what I did. I went to the next Kroger, and the old Indian lady, she's just like, I will send this money right now. And I'm like, thank God. The sky's blue, in case you need to know that. And so she sends that money, and then prior to the receipt of the third order for 5,000 units, Western Union put a hold on the money. So I called up Western Union and their foreign customer service, which was like talking to fucking Aladdin for 20 minutes.
Trying to figure out the situation.
Yeah, and they're like, sir, I'm sorry, this is a fraudulent transaction. I'm like, bullshit, he paid. What's so fraudulent about it? Let him buy whatever he wants. So I went over Western Union. This lady, she's like, I cannot send this money. I cannot. So I was like, you're going to send this money, lady, because I need to sell this damn product that's just piling up my effing garage at this point. So it gets to the point, Jose calls me, and he goes, hello, Patrick. I have not heard from you. I am a little worried because I've given you a sizable sum of money, and you have not yet to send product. And I'm like, you are correct, Jose. I have not sent any product. And he goes, and I go, I'm probably not going to send any more, but I do appreciate your time. And he just kind of pauses. And he goes, well, are you going to send the product, Mr. Patrick, or whatever the fuck I would call him? I go, Jose, I found out these were all stolen credit cards, and I'm not sending you jack shit because, quite frankly, I'm pretty pissed at your Egyptian ass for totally fucking me over on this deal. Do you even have any idea how long it's going to take me to sell this shit that nobody ever buys in the first place?
And on top of that, the headache you have to deal with now with all the money, all the illegal money you have.
At that point, that hadn't set in. I just thought, I'll just give it back. Well, apparently, I can't do that because it's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah.
So Josie's just like, click. He just hung up.
Yeah. And Joe's like, oh, man, jig is up.
So everything kind of passes for a few weeks, and I'm just sitting with all this money in my account. I'm just like, oh, wow, this money. And what the hell am I going to do with this money? And, don't spend it because it's not yours. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, PayPal started blowing me up. Mm-hmm. Like, Mr. Schwager, you owe us this and this. This is a fraudulent transaction. I got to let this play out. Let me talk to your supervisor. The supervisor's like, we need this money immediately. We will come to your home. I'm like, PayPal just told me they're going to come to my home for this money. Yeah. I'm like, all right, here's my address. Come see me. It's a red house on the corner. I'll be there. This went on for probably 2 or 3 months. Mm-hmm. And finally, I was like, I'm just getting real sick of this shit. They kept calling me. So I get a supervisor on the phone. And I said, listen, I got about 75% of this cash left. I'll give it back to you, but you got to stop calling.
Right.
And before you do that, at this point, I was working in an office. Our offices were in a lawyer corporate building, so I was getting all this free advice from attorneys. And I said, listen, my attorneys advised me, I need you to sign a contract. You need to sign a contract that once I pay you this money, you're going to leave me the hell alone, and you're not going to pursue any further litigation with me. And he goes, okay. All right, that sounds like a good deal, Mr. Schwager. Thank you for accommodating our needs. I'm like, yeah, whatever the fuck, man. Just whatever. He's like, all right, I'm going to send you this contract. Just sign it and fax back over. He goes, now, Mr. Schwager, what I'm going to need you to do first is actually send a cashier's check with everything that you owe us via Western Union.
Cashier's check, Western Union, I can't use.
Yeah, it's just like, well, first off, Western Union fucking hates me.
Yeah. I'm already blacklisted.
I'm on their hot list. Yeah. They've been sending me letters too. They've been calling me trying to get some type of research out of me, like I'm a lab monkey. And I go, wait a minute. You want me to send you
it's all a shady deal. Money? That's a shady deal.
There's a cashier's check
with no proof,
with nothing to back it up. He goes, yes, sir.
That's shady as hell.
Fuck you. I'm not sending you anything. Will you call me back when you actually want to understand what happened here? Because you're not getting shit in a can. I might as well just give it to the ice cream man. He's not I'll get some ice cream out of it. Yeah. Anyways, that was it. My attorneys are just tell these guys to fuck off. Don't do anything with them.
Yeah.
All right. So they called me for months. They called my business partner for months.
So everything went back to normal, essentially, right?
Everything just returned to normal.
After you finally handled this whole situation, everything's good now, and you're like, all right, now we have a surplus of salsa.
I still have it. It's been 4 years. I have so much.
At least it doesn't expire.
It's literally stacked to the ceiling in my basement. I have no idea what to do with it.
If
anybody out there, if you're from Egypt, you can go fuck yourself. We only ship to North America, period. Or somebody in Mexico that I'm related to. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want it, you can fucking have it. It's free. Just come pick it up. I don't want it. My whole house smells.
That's all for this week. If you enjoyed the show, please visit antnees.com. That's AUNTNEES.com. Or you can visit them on Twitter at twitter.com/antnees or facebook.com/antnees. Or you can follow me on Twitter at OneCrazyStory, or catch up on all the past shows at onecrazystory.podbean.com. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.